Beep boop bop, it's Becca, and welcome back to Baking with Becca. So today we are going to be making some vegan whoopie pies. Now I'm super excited for this recipe because my favorite is chocolate with a vanilla cream, and I think it's going to be amazing, just another fun variation of it. So let's get started. So here are all of our ingredients. There's actually a lot this time, a lot of little things, but not that much overall, so it's kind of weird. Let's start over here. We have 1 cup of flour, half a cup of sugar, a 1/4 cup of brown sugar, a 1/3 cup of cocoa powder, half a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of baking powder, half a cup of chocolate chips, 3 tablespoons of rice milk, 2 tablespoons of maple syrup, 2 tablespoons of oil, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 1 tablespoon of vinegar, and 1 teaspoon of baking soda. So we are starting off with our dry ingredients. So we're just going to add them all into the bowl with the flour. So our sugars. I made a tiny bit of a sandcastle. You can't see it. Cocoa. Okie dokie. And now we mix. I like to use a whisk because it makes sure that there are no big lumps. But you can use whatever you want. So now that it's combined, we're going to set this aside and do our wet ingredients. Okay, make sure you preheat your oven to 325 degrees. It's different than usual, so don't mess that up. And now we have all of our wet ingredients. But before we melt the chocolate chips, I have to show you a secret. So in here, come here. In here, we have some clumped chocolate chips. We found these in the bag. They look so weird. They're just like melted together. And I don't know why. Something also, sometimes I find random like mini chocolate chips, which is so weird because they're a completely different shape than the normal ones. I don't know how that happens, but we're going to melt these. And I just needed to show you that before they got melted. Our chocolate is melted. We're gonna add it into the bowl. So I microwaved it for like 30 seconds, mixed it, and another 30, and then it was good. Okay, now we can add our rice milk, our maple syrup. I don't usually bake with maple syrup, but I think it's gonna be nice and refreshing because it's such a natural sugar, natural sweetener. Oil, vanilla, and now we wanna make our egg substitute. So this is just a basic vinegar and baking soda mixture, volcano as I like to call it. Go ahead and add that right in. Perfect. And now whisk it up. Awesome, now we can add in our dry ingredients. Okay, so I'm going to add our dry into our wet. And I'm going to mix it with a spoon because it's going to be a dough, so it's going to be pretty thick. You don't want it to get stuck in your whisk. And just stir it up. Turn it off. So I'm sorry for the mix-up, but we needed more rice milk than I said. So instead of 3 tablespoons of rice milk, it should be about 6. Sounds like a big difference, but the dough seems really good now. So now what we want to do is we want to put it into a plastic bag or a piping bag. You can just use a plastic bag and cut a hole in it. So fill it all the way. And I can't do this by myself, so I need Tessa's help, so I'll see you in a minute. So we are piped up and ready to go. Now you want to spray your baking sheet with some baking spray. It's a new one. I just want to spread it around a little bit. Okay, looks good. So you want to cut a hole in your piping bag about 1/2 inch thick. That. There we go. And then you can start piping your circles. So that is about the size that you want them all to be. So it's kind of like a golf ball-ish, maybe a little bigger or a little smushed. So I'm gonna do that for all the rest. So they are all ready to go in the oven now, and they're going to bake for about 15 minutes, and don't worry, they will still be a little bit soft when they're done. So now it is time to make the frosting, so it's gonna be in the middle of our sandwich. So here are all of our ingredients. We have 2 cups of powdered sugar, 1/2 cup of margarine, 2 tablespoons of rice milk, 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract. So I softened the margarine, a little melty. I love when it makes these like holes. So I'm going to add this in with the sugar. Who said that? And everything else. So our rice milk and our vanilla. And give it a nice mix. Okay, so that looks really good. So one note though, it's important, even though the ingredients get combined very fast, you still want to keep it on a high speed, whipping it up so it gets fluffy, even though the ingredients are already combined. So just so you know. So all of the whoopie pies are out of the oven. Here's 1/2 of them. They turned out a little flatter than I thought they would. You know, they'll still taste good. So now we're going to frost them. So this again is like preference. Put as much as you desire, as much as your heart desires. But you want to put a decent amount. And then once you think you have a good amount, just sandwich them together. Looks delicious. Now I'm going to finish frosting all the rest of them. Here is the finished product. I think they're really cute. I think they look good, and it's just a nice little sandwich. So I'm gonna break this in half. These are gonna be chewy, I can tell. And try it. These are pretty good. I really like it. I don't know if it's something that people desire to have a little bit of a crunch in their whoopie pie, but there is a little bit of a crunch, but it's also soft and chewy. I think these are really good, and the frosting has a nice balance with the chocolate. They remind me of Oreos. If you like Oreos, you'll definitely like these. Awesome. Give this video a thumbs up if you like it. Make sure to subscribe. Let me know what you want me to make next time. Leave a comment. All that fun stuff, and I will see you then. Bye.